So I'm going to warmly say hello and welcome my dear friends Gudbjörg in Iceland and Angela in France. I'm just thrilled to have you, and I'm just very excited to share with you. And I'm going to ask you to start with introducing yourselves, who you are and what you do maybe, and also where you are in the world would be great. And also your first reflections on having seen the book a little bit.
Okay. Should I start?
Yes. Well.
Okay. My name is Guðbjörg Ingimundardóttir, and I'm a social worker. And I met Matilda during when I was studying with her in her coaching. I was studying to be a coach, and I started to find that she was very open person and very likable, and I was it just came along when we were in France that the need of her to we were expecting talking about how we live and what's important for us. And now in this autumn we met in Þingvellir, it's south of Iceland. And then she told me that she was finishing this book about daily sex. And she was talking about that it might be frightened or something might come up, exploring herself like that, telling the whole world about her thoughts. But I think she is giving a big gift to especially young people in this world, because they don't know anything about real sex, about real human having, touching each other in a beautiful way. And I think we need more people like Matilda who can guide young people. And my experience with young people who are in big troubles, like social workers, we are working with people in big troubles. And it's very important that we can have something to show them how, because we have industry who is making different things about sex. So we need a book about love and sex. And
yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Beautiful to hear. And thank you, Gudbjörg, for picking up when I was sharing when we met about the feelings around the scarcity and the insecurity about sending the book away. It feels good for me to that you sense that, and that you're so supportive, so you come and share, and that you see the beauty of it. That's fantastic. And we will share more. You will say more. Yeah. So thank you. And also, just to connect, we were in France together. You were in the advanced course training.
Yes.
Yeah. So but over to Angela. You are in France right now.
I am in France right now. Yeah. You're right. I'm not far from where you do your training, in fact. I think I'm in Toulouse, which your training's near Bordeaux. Is that right?
That's correct.
Right, so there you go. I'm only about 2.5 hours away for when finally everyone can come back to France. Although we were planning this year to trek in your beautiful country, Iceland, and unfortunately that didn't come about. But I have the most wonderful memories of us being roommates in Cancun last year at the Being a Leader training that we did with Werner Erhard, and the long, deep conversations that we had that I find are really reflected. The conversations themselves was on slightly different topics, but we were talking about writing a blog about the continuous now, the everlasting now. And I was just intrigued when I was reading the chapter that we were reading, and I'm particularly touched at what it brought up in me was the humanity, deep humanness, and a sense of what is real. And that I find not only infinitely and intimately touching, but opening. It allowed me, I'd really like to join what Gubyog said. I hope I've said your name right, because I'm not that great with pronouncing names the first time. That it being really needed. We live in a very harsh world. Well, we don't all live in a harsh world, but there are some very harsh representations of sex that lack all form of real deep communication. And so I found myself being transported just reading this first chapter and reflecting on what my own experience was from a deep human perspective. So I just love to say, you know, how wonderful it was. Thank you.
Perfect. And thank you so much. For what I hear is that you at once say that you started to reflect on yourself, and that's then, you know, mission complete. That's like, that's my highest wish, really, because it happens to me writing, but it's really not about me, you know. It's more to get something to reflect from, or something like that.
And a beautiful place to reflect from. It's and I really mean the word beautiful. That has a sense to that word, and sometimes it's you know, bandied about, and it's deep.
Just say what you mean when you say from a beautiful place. Would you describe that?
Well, we're very, you know, beautiful is a word that people use a lot, you know, that it becomes sort of commonplace. And I didn't actually look up the definition of what beauty was, but I love to paint, and I get a sense of deep vibration and harmony. And that's what beauty is to me. Harmony and a sensitivity that, yeah, that's out of that's not common. That would actually be lovely if it was more common for young people as well, that we could appreciate ourselves at such a deep level.
Great. So thank you very much for this part, which is the introduction, and we're going to share some more. So thank you for now. So great. So we're talking about chapter number 8. We're going to share together about communication and fat layers. It's so amazing, because I had no idea how to share about this daily routine thing, kind of meeting in this beautiful way every 24 hours. And when I finally understood that I could write about points that I find important and mix it with like a bodily sensation, then I kind of grasped a title for a chapter. And then I just sat down and wrote. So it's just like became like a flow, and then it's not changed. It's very amazing. So I have not gone back like that. So communication and fat layers. How did that resonate with you? And what would you like to share about this chapter?
First, when I saw that fat layers, I thought you were, you know, using it as a myndlíking,
yeah, like a picture explanation, something. Yeah.
Yes. And I found out you were not, in a way, but in a way you are, because what we are, you know, rubbing ourselves in is like stress, all sort of anxiety, all sort of things that are between our feelings and our way to be touched emotionally also. And it's very strong to have that fat also in that chapter, because like many women especially are having a lot of fat on their body too. Why are they so fat? Because they are trying to hold something back, or trying to build something between other people and themselves and their feelings.
Yeah, and maybe this is not conscious, you know. No. Maybe this is just life is going on and this happens, so it's not conscious.
No.
Yeah. But what's so amazing is to start to, you know, open the possibility of having it be conscious, and you know, the realization and like the sensitizing.
Yeah.
Woo!
And what I was what moved me in the chapter is like how we talk to each other. What words are we using? How are we saying things? And and what tools are we using, as you say.
Mm.
And it's very important to try to find out what would I like to, what tools are I using to myself, you know, in how I treat myself in words.
Yeah.
And what I eat, what I do with my own body also.
Wow, many pieces.
Yes.
So how do I speak to myself? What is the
Yes.
sound of when I am relating to myself?
Yeah, the sound, the softness, or is it hard? How is it?
Yeah.
What do I, and perhaps to choose for myself, what would I like to have in my ears?
Pretty exciting. What if I can kind of change the tone or the pace? Or yes. Angela.
Yes, I had that metaphor too. I remember looking at the chapter and going, and just like when I first saw the title, I went, "Oh, that's interesting. What does it mean?" And I came up with that same metaphor. Oh, she must be talking about the way we layer ourselves so that, you know, things don't sink in, or so that we're protecting ourselves. And then I started reading, and I reckon there were two things that came up for me. The first three actually sort of came in a wave. That's how I would describe my reading of this chapter. At first there's a softness. I haven't read the rest of the book yet, but there's a softness to this chapter in the communication. So when you're talking about, how are my words? Words can touch, words can hurt. How am I communicating? Is it sharp? And there's no sharpness in that chapter. So I felt really like lulled, bercé, we say in French. Like just, I was taking the wave, but a really gentle wave, not a big breaking wave. And I could really resonate with it. And what was interesting is that when we came to the part of you're talking about the 8 kilos and what you could feel differently, and there was a reactive part of me. I was like, there was a reactive, indignant part. We're going, I could. But what does that mean? We can feel even if we've got layers and things. So I was thinking of my own layers and how sometimes I can be so self-conscious of it and make it wrong. I can make my layers wrong. And see, I can even have it. I don't want to say the word fat. I'm just calling them layers. That's how unconsciously wrong I can make it. And then then I got curious, and I thought, this is really interesting how that I'm having this reaction about it and making like wanting that not to be said, wanting not to look at it, and recognizing again that I was back in the metaphor that every time I'm separated by another layer of whatever it is, I am taken further away from bliss. So it was, so then sort of was all like taken into this wave, and then it was like, the wave went up because I was like, what? And taken into my own reaction, and then brought back down again by the experience of the raw sensations. And I know how much I do my running and things like that, and I'm unaccepting of myself when I feel like I've got more, when I'm carrying more than I need to be. And that's in all senses of the word as well. So I found that curious. And then when you said your communication with yourself is so interesting, I started laughing. that was exactly it. It's like, wow, what's my communication about this? How does it relate? And yeah, it was very opening, a beautiful discussion to have. In fact, it's a beautiful way to lead into discussion with ourselves about our bodies, what we're carrying, what we don't need that we're still holding on to, and how reactive we can be about letting it go. So yeah, that was
beautiful. We will continue. Let's there are many pieces you're mentioning, like several very fantastic pieces, and it's so amazing to like get a hold of just like a piece to start to look. And I see how you have done that at once. That's amazing. That's beautiful. Good, Björk. You want to continue somewhere?
Yes, I would like to keep on where she left.
Yeah.
Because when I started to read about these kilos,
Mm-hmm.
I have extra kilo. So okay, I thought self-care is really about caring about yourself, about feeling good and having your own bliss. And self-care is about yourself, not somebody else. It's very important that you don't use kilos for somebody else.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Not to. It's a very important thing to get it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you take care of yourself.
Yeah, and also the possibility for me, when I started to grasp that for me, I am sensitizing myself. When I'm taking even better care of myself.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And like allowing for layers to dissolve, then I get into more bliss. Then I get to feel better in myself. It's fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would like to say that the chapter I have already written. No, written.
Yes.
It's this small sentence. I love them.
Mm.
They are so. What do I say to myself? It's speaking straight to you. And I love the words. They're so I speak to myself in an art form. You just it's so nice to read this chapter. And when I was finished, I said, "Oh, it's finished!" I love it. Your English sentences are so nice. It's like Icelander talking English.
Mm-hmm. It is actually an Icelander talking English, and it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. It has your accent and your ring to it, but it's also universal. Mm-hmm. So that's I love that about it too. Also, I mean, it could be because we know you, I know you, and I hear your voice. I actually hear your voice when I read it.
I hear it too. I agree.
It's fascinating because it's also like it's kind of a creation that has happened, because the whole thing of allowing me also to write like in a speaking way, in like a poetic way, or not caring about how the sentences are built, like I really had no idea how that would work, if that would do anything for anyone. And so it's a fantastic confirmation to hear that you're giggling about it, and that something is working in that. Yeah.
I wouldn't change it. Like, if anyone suggests editing that, don't.
No,
please don't.
Don't.
Oh, that's what gives it the depth and it's not just originality, because everyone's looking for originality. That's what gives it its depth of humanity, is that it is your voice.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's beautiful words. That's very beautiful words.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And I would like to say also that how you express your lover, your husband, the word you use, my dear, I think you use. It's very nice. You can feel how do you say it in English? You respect him, and he respects you. You can feel it, the words you use for him. It's very nice.
There's a word we use in French for that as well, and it's like it is in English, a term of endearment, like chérie, mon chéri, ma chérie. But I used to love, I don't have a partner right now, but I used to love calling my partner chérie. I'm coming with my chérie, with my dear. and really feeling it and really meaning it. It's so beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, it's also, it's kind of what the words do for you.
Yes.
You know, the traditional husband, wife, you know, or whatever, you know, it's like, what is it that I want to express?
Yes.
You know, like what
Because
the
there's
word.
love in it. I mean, it resonates love. I think that's what was underlying as well. That's like that wave I was saying. That's like the ocean of it is love. And I have to admit, I tell you, I did one thing as well, as I touched my lower back when I was reading it. Like, I got curious about my lower back. It's like, how much can I take it for granted, or can I feel it in the skin, and what's it like? So,
fantastic. But it's also like the discovery that perhaps the whole body is like sensual, you know, if we're present.
It is.
Yeah, but
Your feet.
I have not lived, you know, like that. I have not experienced that, so that's fantastic. Yeah, it
is. And I haven't lived it. I've thought I've wanted to live it. I've lived it I have actually lived it momentarily, but not over the long term. And that's it. That's that presence that you're talking about, being present to yourself, just being in the bodily experience and not outside of it, not thinking the body experience, but being the bodily experience.
Yes, yes. And that's like the wish of the book also. That's to describe the inner sensation and feeling and the bliss experience of being in this body. And trying to kind of see what made it like this, you know, what steps has it, what journey has this been? That's my aim, kind of, to describe that.
I have to admit, I want to read the rest of the book.
You will. Yes,
we will.
Yes.
We will.
You could also, if you like, ask me something about the writing or the life, or any things that evoke also while looking into a chapter.
I've pulled the chapter back up so I can read it again. So now you've got me thinking.
I was thinking about what you said about, are we listening to our body or others' body? Sometimes we have stopped listening and taking notice of what our partner's body are sending to us. And it's like there's no tripplanet. It's like
disturbance, or
yes, on the line. You can't hear, you can't see, you can't, and all this. Our world is so moving so fast, and you're all in a stress, and you're all these kids and all the work and all what you're doing, and you're not listening to yourself or other body.
Yeah, and that's really fascinating thought, I find, but because there's several pieces. One is to, you know, even though the outside is, things are moving on the outside, what can I do to pay attention to me?
Yes.
And what do I need and arrange, or whatever, you know, to prepare myself, or to take care of myself. And then if we're talking about meeting sexually, if one person possibly is present, then the other person is in their head, or, you know, just coming in and, you know, so or the other way around. So it's the fascinating thing is to start to be present to your inner world, meeting someone else being present to their inner world.
And has that always been the case, or is that the case each time? You started to touch on it before, but I'm really curious, because you have all these questions here, and I was thinking, okay, so does it happen that you're in your head sometimes, or when you start? Yeah.
Of course it does. Of course it does.
When you're getting intimate and having sex with your dear, like
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's not like one state. It's like fresh. So it needs to be worked on all the time. So I also go away in my head. Of course, it's like something that needs to be generated the whole time. But this has been a journey. I had no idea it was possible to live like this. And this whole thing is explained also how it all started. It was my partner who came with an article offering 2008 to have daily sex. And it was like a game. Yeah, sure, let's try it. And then all of a sudden, I noticed that my body, for example, started to opening up to all kind of feelings and orgasms and that I did not know, existed. So I had no one to speak about. So that's why I would like to share, because I did not know. Yeah.
And out of curiosity, because I was thinking, because this is like 2008, so we're 12 years later, right? Have I got that right? Does it ever happen that you don't feel like it, or is it naturally built on itself? I mean, I'm saying it here too. I really enjoy intimacy, and I really enjoy sex, and so I haven't. Like I said, I don't have a partner right now, so it's easy for me to say, well, at the moment, everything's fine. But I'm curious, has there been a time in those 12 years where it's been like, oh yeah, we said every day, but like anything, it's like if I had vanilla yogurt all the time, like would I still want vanilla yogurt every day? So I'm curious. Yeah.
Yes, of course. That's a perfect question. And of course it has been everything that you're asking about. It's been that we're not in the same place, so we're not meeting. It's been that someone is sick, then we don't trespass into each other. And it has also been that we have been in a conflict or something and we don't solve it. So we don't get, so it's been, times when it has not happened. But, do I always feel like it? It's in a way, it's been that my body is like already turned on. Yeah, so it's very, very easy to start interacting.
Like the intimacy is still going on the next day or after, the intimate, you're so close, and it's still close.
Yes, and also, being in bed, for example, it's very, very easy. If someone is not turned on, the other one is turning that one on. So we're two in the game. So we're two committed pools, so we're supporting each other. So we're like holding this container, engaging. Oh, he's not active, then I'll be active, and then the dance is started. So it's like a game between us, like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still a game 12 years later.
Absolutely. And I'm writing in that later, I think, in the book or somewhere, that isn't it boring or like this? Yeah, that's also like a regular thought. No, I've done that already. No, I know this. Yeah, but if you're present, if I'm present to the moment, it doesn't matter if there's a partner. If I'm present to just, touching my hand, it's a huge sensation. So it's more about how many seconds or minutes or how much time during 24 hours am I allowing myself pleasure. How much do I spend, just enjoying this vessel that I have, which is like a bliss machine, which is like, doesn't even have to come close, it's like feeling it anyway, but how much are we enjoying that? And for me, when I have understood now, it's an access for transformation. It is learning, we're opening each other up, we're opening ourselves up when we are in pleasure. Yeah.
And it's like like a orca, it's like engine.
Energy.
Energy, yes.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
opening up more energy, more.
Yes. And it's like the body is, some people talk about chakras, different
Yes.
like energy places in the body, and they can be blocked and not blocked, and you can open them. And so it's about like having sexual energy run through the body,
Yes.
constantly, and that it's possible to walk around turned on, and it can be that way in daily life. And I had no idea that was I thought something was wrong with me when it started to happen. Yeah.
But you can tell that when people are closed, when there's no energy, no sexual energy in their body. You can tell.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
I think you can. Sorry, France.
How can you tell? I'm curious. How do you tell when you think that there's no energy in the body and no sexual energy in the body? Well, how does that show up?
Like your eyes are gray. It's like all the body is gray when you look at it. The energy is just closed.
Yes, there's not that same. It's more than joy. It is that underlying pleasure of and the underlying feeling of aliveness that's generated. Yes.
Yeah, possibly that like the energy flows out. It's like shines from us. Some people talk about charisma or that we kind of feel each other walking around, that we are different energy something. Yeah.
I had another question, but it's disappeared. It'll come back to me.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it also made me think of like really self-love, even more than self-care, in fact. Because just noticing when you were touching your arms a second ago, and I had conversations as well with another girlfriend recently, and it's like, why do we just put our face cream on without actually feeling what we're doing? And it's great to go to someone else for a massage, but putting our face cream on, we can sort of really be loving ourselves when we're doing that, or putting our body cream on, and really, like, every part has nerve endings and has a capacity to feel.
It's like a missed opportunity.
It is.
Really, it's like an orgasmic experience to put the cream on yourself. If you're there, when we're there, it's awesome that we have that possibility.
Be there when you're there. I like that.
How amazing! Yeah, how amazing is that?
Well, what was it like before 2008 for you?
Well, it was, for example, one part that was very true for me. I was always complaining.
Yes, I remember you telling us. Yeah.
I didn't hear that. Tell me about that.
No, I had a complaint that I never got enough touch. I never got enough hugs. Yeah. And when we meet like this, in sexual merge, then all of a sudden that complaint just went away, because my body is kind of nourished, has gotten all kind of orgasms, and it's like full for a period of time or something.
So it's like, I know mine does, and by the sound of it yours does, but I'm wondering if all bodies sort of really call for that, like want it, like fundamentally need and want it.
Yeah, and what's funny also, what research says, someone told me, is that when we touch, the body does not know if it's someone else or ourselves. So the reaction in the body is nourishing. Even it doesn't matter who it is who does it. So the like connection is, oh, I've been touched. So it's also this about loving yourself and finding ways to just enjoy yourself. It's super fantastic. It doesn't matter if you have someone with you or not. You know, it's awesome. It's really awesome.
Love thyself.
Yeah, yeah. Good, Björg. You also talked about something about like younger people and
Yes.
view on sexuality, and what the book is giving you reflections into that. You want to share about that?
Yes, I have worked a lot with women and young women who have been sexually abused and have who and are still sexually abused in their, with their husbands, or they are not living a beautiful life. They're living, their life is like a hell. There's no beauty in it. And what you see on the radio or TV, it's not, or computer, it's not the way it should be. How women and men, young men, treat each other. And I think we need a lot to talk about this. Talk about how we love each other, how we nurture, how we touch each other with words, and how we respect. And like when I'm working with couples, and I'm trying to help them to get closer and heal and touch each other, and it's very difficult to tell them how. This book might help me to, have you read this? You have to find some way to show people how to love somebody.
It's very amazing, and it's also just the question that you're raising. For example, the question of how would I like to be touched?
Yes.
I could ask, can you touch me how I would like it to be? I can give someone touch so I like it, so it's for me, or I can give it in a way which is for the other person.
Yes.
In the way that person. So this is also about being conscious.
Yes.
Start to be aware of what, do I like that touch, or would I like it differently?
And am I able, is it okay to ask for something I like?
Yes.
In a nice way.
We need to just start to
communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. To express ourselves.
And to start recognizing what it is we like.
Yeah.
We can know what we don't like. It's often harder to not only admit it, but even to define it for ourselves. And what I'm hearing in this as well is the importance of being able to communicate with yourself first. So to be able to communicate with someone else, you need to find that way of communicating and distinguishing and pulling out what it is you actually want and feel. When couples are together, or any of us, whether it be in a couple or friends or all sorts of conversations, we're trying to get something we want without actually really defining what that is. The principle of non-violent communication, coming back to what's my need.
And what is my desire? To dare to think of what is my desire? What would I love? What would be really good for me? Could I ask for that? Can I give myself that, and can I ask someone else to give me that?
I am a subtle orchestra. And I think that's it. We forget, or people forget, especially in difficult situations, challenging situations, that we are a subtle orchestra, that we are not just on or off, and we are not just all right or all wrong, that there's all of the nuance in between that makes us, each one of us, so rich.
And it's also that if there's a lot of noise on the outside, it's not that easy to recognize what the orchestra is playing.
And expectations on the outside as well. It's
So it's also like being responsible in a way to start to notice I'm not in contact with myself. What do I need to do? What practices could I do to start to be in contact with myself?
And what other practices do you have to be in contact with yourself?
I am, for example, a lot, because I train adults, you know, I have a lot of different projects going on, and it's really exciting and it's never a dull moment. But for example, to keep myself in balance, you know, to keep myself conscious, that's my job. Yeah, so stopping or closing my eyes or sitting down breathing or laying down resting, or everything that keeps me coming back into myself again, that's like the core of everything. If I'm not there, then, you know, nothing will work.
Yeah. But it's a practice that you keep coming back to.
Absolutely. Every day, every hour. Yeah, absolutely.
You are a nice tutor, Matilda.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Maybe we start to wrap it up. Any last words before we close everything? Thank you so much for sharing and like reflecting together and creating together. It's a great support, and I think it's so valuable. It's really beautiful. Any last words that you want to say before we complete?
I do. I work with women leaders. I forgot to say at the beginning that I'm a leadership coach and women's executive coach. And so I particularly work with women. And I just think that the women I work with who are mostly in corporate could really read this. And what's really important to me in leadership is wild spirit. And what I hear in this is something of such reconnection.
I would like you to say this once again.
Wild spirit.
Yes, women.
Women. I work with women leaders.
Yeah. Women leaders are wild spirit.
Yes, women leaders are wild spirit. And this is it. This is the power and the softness of that. But the essence of it is just getting just. I don't want to say just actually, because it's not minimizing it. It's exceptionally big. Finding that communicating with self and communicating with other at such a deep and sensuous and subtle level.
And it's also fantastic because being a corporate manager, for example, or a woman or a man walking around the whole day in a suit or whatever fits that environment.
Well, that's one of those layers.
Yes, that's a layer also to keep boundaries and all kind of things. But how can I like include being a sexual being in my full power the whole day with circulating, having the energy, which is the power, be present, you know, without having to do anything with it, but be able to enjoy the creativity and the energy which is there.
Yeah, the creativity is another word that, you know, that we hadn't brought up yet. Really enjoy the creativity that brings, that deep sexual energy. Life, it's life-giving, it's life force.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Good, Björk. Any last words to wrap it up, Paul?
It's daring.
Yes.
To write this book, and it's very loving. It's and thank you very much.
Yes.
I think that's all I have to say.
That's fantastic.
Thank you for the privilege and the trust.
Yes.
It takes trust, I think, to hand this to people and say, would you really tell me what you think about it and how you feel about it and what it brought up for you? So I like to acknowledge and honor the trust and the privilege of being asked to participate in this experience.
Yes, thank you. And it is a creation that is happening because it's a great support for me to be able to kind of stand in the midst of what will happen to have you all, you know, to have you close and to know about you. Maybe I'll come back and seek some support. You know? Yeah, but it's fantastic, and it's yeah. I don't know what will, you know, happen out of all of this, but it's a great support for me, and I wish other people will enjoy our sharing also. Yeah.
Can I make a request?
Well, you can do anything you like.
I mean, obviously, with a request, you're free to say no. But it would be great to meet all of the people who've read this book.
Say that again. Say that again.
It would be great to meet all of the people who've read this book one day online, so that
you meet all the people that have read chapters like you have.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we could do like a celebration in some way to see what happens then.
Knit it together.
Whoa.
That would be nice.
Okay. Let's do that.
I love to meet you, Gubbjörg.
Same to you.
Yes. Thank you very much for now, and I'll see each other soon again.